get the thumbs up at some. You'll give it to me, Garnet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. Welcome everybody to the April meeting of the Naracoorte-Lucindale Council, where we acknowledge and respect our complex history and we welcome everyone to build our future together. Please note that this meeting is being live streamed, recorded and published in accordance with the Council's live streaming and recording of public meetings policy. To those present in the gallery today, by attending a public meeting of Council, you are consenting to your image, voice and comments being recorded and published. Anyone who is invited to speak will be recorded and their voice, image and comments will form part of the live stream and recording. And I don't normally have to do this, but welcome. And you are on camera. So just please be aware of that. Thank you. While I'm right here at this juncture, I'd like to welcome our asset manager, Mahmood Kaiser. It's been a little bit remiss of me not to mention Mahmood in the past 8 or 9 weeks, but he's been on site and working feverishly with Kelly and Rob, and we look forward to his longevity with Council. So welcome, Mahmood.
Yeah, thank you, Patrick. Yeah, thank you.
Pleasure. Item 2 is elected member declaration of interest, and Councillor Dennis has informed us that he has a material interest in item 12.1. Thank you, Councillor Dennis. I don't believe we have anyone who wishes to speak from the public. And item 4 is petitions and deputations, and we have Louise Stock from the Link Lucindale Economic Development Board, who will provide an update of Link. Welcome, Louise.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Should I stand right here?
Yes, right there.
Thanks, everybody, for having me along today to have a quick chat about an update on some of our Link projects. Step in if I miss anything, Abby, our trusted Deputy Chair. So, yeah, Link, it's actually our 25th birthday this year. 25 years ago, Link was established to run projects and identify opportunities on behalf of the Lucindale community. So we fulfil a couple of roles, really. We have member organisations that come under our governance umbrella. We have 7 member organisations who come under our insurance, and we provide governance services for them. Some of them it's banking services, others it's just they use our corporate, well, our structure. So our committee is made up of representatives from those 7 organisations as well as other community members. We also have a rep from the Lucindale Lions Club, the Lucindale Area School, and I've just gone completely blank. This one other, Naracoorte-Lucindale Council also reports at every meeting. Typical to forget that one. Yes, so they're one of our member organisations, so they're on our committee as well. So that's kind of our structure. We have quite a few projects that we run directly as well, and I just thought I'd pull out a couple of those this evening that are probably particularly pertinent at the moment. We have the Lucy Loves Again, our community op shop, which is open 3 days a week, 11 till 4, completely voluntarily staffed, and that is, it provides funding which we can then use to fund other community projects. So that's been really successful for us for quite a few years now. We, as you would know, we have our annual community Christmas party, and last year we introduced our new Lucindale community Christmas tree, which was quite a success, and we've got plans this year to really make that, I guess, a unique representation of our community. We're going to involve the kindy in the school in making decorations for that tree, and also community members as well. So it just really reflects our personality, and the community really feels ownership of that. And I think the lights on at night and just having that sort of bit of celebratory atmosphere for Christmas has been a really good thing. So that's a couple of very important and kind of ongoing projects that we do. The community hub, which is the building that we're leasing, the former senior sits hall, is slowly building momentum. We want that to really be a welcoming and safe place for the community to go and connect and build those links. So that's certainly building momentum. Shirley's been opening that on Thursday afternoons for us. And it also gets used for a few other activities. And we do actually, I just learnt today from one of our members, we're having a Cancer Council biggest morning tea on the 22nd of May is the plan, just to avoid other local activities. So that'll be another chance to open up the hub, do some fundraising for the Cancer Council and just raise awareness of what that's all about. We're also just in the process of starting to develop a community garden at the back of the community hub. So one of our volunteers is really passionate about that project and it's generated a lot of interest. The school tech studies kids want to be involved in building the garden beds. They're also propagating seed that we'll use to plant in the garden. So that's just becoming a really good way to engage another group of people in activities together and hopefully bring different generations together, which tends to happen in small communities anyway, but by involving the school is a good way of doing that. A couple of other things. Link has been supporting has been sponsoring participants in the Limestone Coast Emerging Leaders program for the last few years. We've had 3 local community members complete that program, as well as, and we also have previous graduates from the program and also other community members have attended some of the events that have been held as part of the Regional Leadership Development Program more broadly. That's run by RDA Limestone Coast and we're, I guess, putting on a slightly different hat as a steering committee member of that program. We're hopeful that there will be another round of funding announced for that soon by the state government, and Link will certainly be supporting another Lucindale person to participate in that program, and I guess it's something that I personally would really strongly encourage Naracoorte Lucindale Council to become involved in supporting if there's the opportunity. Just a slightly different hat on little mention of that. But Link's certainly keen to continue supporting that program. Just giving people skills and confidence and networks in our region is of enormous benefit to our communities and our economy as well. Makes a big difference. I think the final thing I wanted to mention was we've also, Link's been discussing community artworks for a while and a few different ideas have come up, but just recently, and you're probably aware, we've submitted a funding application under Council's Community Arts Fund to have a mural on the side of the ambulance centre building, and that's in collaboration with the Lucindale Working Dog Auction Committee and also the Lucindale Lions Club contributing. So that's, it's kind of a start. And I think, there's quite a lot of interest in developing other community artworks. And we also acknowledge and are grateful for what's happening on the half basketball court at the moment as well. So I think that's about all I wanted to talk about at the moment. I'm happy to answer any questions at all, and thanks for the opportunity.
Pleasure. Questions? Thank you, Louise.
Pleasure.
Louise.
Thanks for having us. Excuse me, Mayor. I'm sorry. My apologies. Can I say one more thing? I'm so sorry.
This is unusual.
I know. I just did want to mention, because we've got Shirley here as well, our Lucindale Loop monthly newsletter. Sorry that I forgot. So we've got a community Facebook page that one of our volunteers administers, and we noticed, there was concern that there was a section of the community who were missing out on that information. So we have 3 volunteers who work hard every month to put that out in paper copy format for those who aren't on Facebook. And it's actually taken on a life of its own. I think even those on Facebook really value it. and it's an important part of getting information out and about in our community. And yeah, big thank you to Shirley and Wright for the work they do on that. I'm very sorry.
So I do have a question, but is LOOP an acronym for something, or is it just keeping people in the loop?
Keeping people in the
I'm disappointed, Shirley.
It's a challenge for you, Patrick.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you. Item 5, confirmation of the council meeting council minutes of March 24th. Would someone like to move that they are acceptable? Councillor Downwood, thank you. A seconder?
Yep.
Councillor Crosland, thank you. All those in favour? Those against? Excellent. Carried. The minutes of the special meeting, council meeting held on the 8th of April, taken as read and confirmed as an accurate record of the proceedings of the meeting. Would someone like to move to that effect? Councillor Goodman. Councillor Crosling. All those in favour? Carried unanimously. There are no matters laid on the table. My mayoral report. Thank you. Shall I move? Seconder, Councillor Dennis, thank you very much. Although I'm happy to take questions.
Question if I may.
Yes.
I note that in regard to a visit from PIRSA about the NRLE, your report says that along with Mount Gambier Complex, it's an outlet for foot rot sheep under certain conditions as highlighted by PIRSA, and that this may have implications for NRLE if sheep numbers decline and are sent either over the hooks or interstate markets. And I was just after clarification on under which kind of circumstances sheep might decline. Is that as a result of it being a market that takes foot rot sheep, or is it because we would not take foot rot sheep?
So, the Narra Court Livestock Exchange takes sheep that have foot rot, and these are sheep that are known to have foot rot, and so they would be declared on the vendor deck. So that's not the issue. The issue is around people who would either like to have their clean sheep put in the livestock exchange without the risk of them contracting foot rot. And the other side is that those people who are unsure whether they have a foot health disease, otherwise known as foot rot, not wishing to put them into the market because they may, the PIRSA officials may discover that they have got foot rot, and then they will have to go down the process of quarantining their property and the 2 summers to get to the other side of contracting foot rot. The other interesting thing to note is that it's a bit of an unknown around the total number of sheep in the, in the state or interstate at the moment, and so there's a decline generally, and there has been a decline in the market over the last 5 years. There's been a continuing line like that. So whether that's about total sheep numbers, whether it's about the livestock exchange allowing foot rotty sheep, I believe there's more work to be done in that space. So does that answer your question?
So if I understand correctly, the potential for the numbers to decline are on both sides of that coin. People avoiding the yards because they've got concerns around sharing spaces with foot rot sheep, and also people avoiding it because if we didn't accept foot rot sheep.
Correct.
Okay, thank you. So that
it's a double-edged sword.
Yes,
in fact.
thank you.
Any other questions of my report? All those in favour? Carried. Thank you. Elected members report. We have one from Councillor Crosling, has provided the written report. Thank you, Councillor Crosling. And I must admit, the Rising Art exhibition evening was jam-packed. There was no room to move. It was pretty amazing. A good night, indeed. Item 9, Chief Executive Officer. Kelly.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a few items tonight. The first one is around advocacy for community transport networks. Obviously, these organisations are feeling the pinch in relation to fuel. I'm aware there's a national advocacy approach where, you know, the National Organisation for Community Transport is lobbying to get some support. The Taylor Bend Community Centre has reached out to us and other councils to kind of lend a voice to that advocacy piece. So the first item tonight just relates to that and whether or not council's willing to put in a letter of support for that service.
Thank you. Would someone like to move that the CEO report for March be received and noted? Councillor Crosland, Councillor Grundy. All those in favour? Carried. Thank you. And secondly, and I note we got an email late today from...
We did.
Yes. So would someone like to move that the CEO be authorised to write to the Federal Minister? Councillor Crosling. Seconder. Councillor Goodman. Any questions? There being no questions, I put the motion. All those in favour? Carried. Thank you.
I've just put a little recap about the ASCOSA advice in there. I think I've been through this before with everybody. Just for your information, we now have information relating to the next 4 years of the ASCOSA work that they're planning to do. That information will go out for consultation. That I've just received notice that they'll give us a slight extension because the next council meeting falls outside of the consultation period. So we'll have a slight extension to provide formal feedback. So I'll prepare something for the May council meeting on that front. And then there is just the Limestone Coast LGA minutes and my meetings.
Thank you. I'm happy to move that the Limestone Coast Board minutes be received and noted. A seconder, please. Councillor Downward. All those in favour? Carried. Thank you. Key projects. Mr. Steed.
Thank you, Mayor Ross. So, yeah, the report details out the key projects and their current stages. I'm pleased to say that we have completed our annual road resheeting programme very recently. Just waiting to final invoices of a couple of bits and pieces, but we're travelling quite well there budget-wise. Road reconstruction, Moy Hall Road, all the base works and groundworks are complete and the road is ready for sealing, which is being dealt with as a confidential item later on in the meeting. Diagonal Road, Stage 2, all works are complete. The road is open to traffic. It's been sealed and line marked. The contractor does need to return to do a couple of culverts under driveways. Due to major projects in Adelaide, the lead time for culverts is currently 16 weeks. So that's just been the delay, but there's not been, as I say, no delay. The main works are all complete and the contractor will return in the next month or two to complete those works. Road reseals are all done except for Aitchison Avenue, which we're hoping to get completed shortly when the contractor comes back through town. The cemetery in Narracourt, I think the staff internally have done a great job in terms of the cemetery park area. And as you can see from the pictures there, the foundations for the walls have been dug both in the cemetery park and in the cemetery itself and also the entrance wall. Those works are progressing quite quickly. I was up there today. Some of the stonework has actually started. It's looking very, very impressive. I'm even more pleased to say that the curb works and footpath works and drainage works on Ormerod Street are progressing well now that we got through and managed to source some culverts. Did a bit of a trade-off with the contractor. We've actually supplied the culverts because we had them in stock instead of having to wait 16 weeks for them to be supplied. So when they do get delivered, we will get reimbursed for those culverts back from the contractor, but those works are progressing well.
Mr. Steed, are there any financial implications around the work on Ormerod with that drainage? No? Fantastic.
Cedar Avenue, there's been some footpath works there, and I'm even more pleased to say that the Narracourt Aerodrome has finally had the runway resealed. I think it took 4 attempts to try and get that work done, coordinating both with the contractor and having the right weather conditions and being able to issue the NOTAMs to effectively shut the runway down to allow those works to happen over a weekend and get the line marking done. So yeah, very pleased to get those done. Happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Steed. Councillor Crosling.
I just had one question on the Cedar reseal of the footpath. Obviously, it's hot mix, is that what you call spray seal? Will the loose stones be eventually kind of swept off so it's a little bit smoother? And you've just been a little bit of notice on Facebook about it being, traversed a lot by little kids on the way to school, and it's a pretty heavily used footpath, and just wanted to know if it will be kind of swept and made a little bit smoother in however long.
Thank you. I'm aware of the comments on Facebook. First point is, no, you're correct, the works are not complete. We will be returning to sweep off the loose stone. The stone is left there to allow effectively the foot traffic to push the stone into the sealed surface. That's standard practice, exactly the same principle as what we follow on the road. There is some edges that the guys need to tidy up as well, but yeah, it will be swept in a couple of weeks.
Councillor Dennis.
Question two, I had some comments on Gunning Road during the process of the road being formed, and some feedback, and I just said to the community, my neighbours effectively, just be patient, and the road is absolutely fantastic. I have to commend the team on that. The community were concerned about, it was halfway through and what's happening and watching the road being formed, but they're all just blown away by the result at the end.
Thank you, Councillor Dennis. I drove along Gunning today, and it's come up pretty well. And I know the last time I spoke with Rob about Moy Hall Road, it was in the early stages, and people had the same queries. I haven't been along Moy Hall in the last week, so I can't comment on it. But the pictures look pretty good. Thank you, Mr. Steed. Item 11, Finance Report. Mrs. Edmonds.
Thank you, Mayor Ross. So presenting the quarterly report, which gives you income, investment and loan information in addition to the usual monthly information. Just thought it worth mentioning, we are also looking at developing a treasury management policy. We currently have an investments policy in place, but LGFA, who did an audit recently, advised that we lean more towards a treasury management policy, which we'll present to Audit and Risk Committee first and then to Council, so likely in May or June. So that will give more clarity around a lot of what you see in that quarterly report also. So happy to take any questions.
I did speak with Mrs. Edmonds today. My standard queries is near the end of the financial year, but she assured me that when we come to the May meeting that they would have finished your third quarter reporting, and we'll have a better understanding of how we roll over into the new year. So thank you for that. Any other questions? Being none. 11.2, Draft Annual Business Plan. Mrs. Edmonds.
Thank you again, Mayor Ross. So as per our briefing sessions and draft annual business plan, we're now at the stage of releasing the draft for public consultation. All being well with tonight's recommendation being endorsed, we're looking at releasing that on the 4th of May through to the 27th of May, at which point we'll then bring it back to Council as part of the next Council meeting for discussion of anything that comes up in the community consultation process. As Mayor Ross mentioned, also we're in the process of our third and final budget review, where we're poring over operational and capital lines to get a better estimation of where we'll sit at the end of the year. So those adjustments as per the budget review will then feed into this draft review budget. What are we up to? A business plan, and that might change some of these figures slightly. So hopefully the detail is within the report for you as we go into that community consultation process, and happy to take any questions.
Councillor Turner.
More of a comment, actually. I don't often print things out, but I did print a copy. And I read it line by line. I thought it was a pretty good document, considering it's a government document. I'd say that. We get to read a lot of documents, and I think this sort of the executive summary is very good. The mayor's summary is very good too, and that I think that the plan makes good sense. And I feel it sort of captured everything that we've spoken about and intend on doing. And think it's a reasonably easy read for people that would be interested in taking the time to read it, so congratulations.
And can I just say, all credit to Kelly and to Yana and Josie. They play a really big part. Caroline and I might do the numbers and departmental managers, but these guys are definitely the creative crew behind it. Definitely not me. So,
That might have been some of the handwriting, I know.
We don't like creative accounting, so that's good.
Thank you, Mrs Edmonds, and I concur with Councillor Turner. It's a great document. It's a great document to put to the public. So thank you to all those concerned. I'd ask for someone to move that the draft annual business plan for 26/7 be endorsed for public consultation, and the period of consultation is from the 4th of May until the 27th of May 2026. Councillor Turner and Councillor Ireland. All those in favour? Carried, thank you. Item 12, minutes and recommendations from council committees. Be 12.1, I'm assuming. Yeah, there we go. Naracoorte Regional Livestock Exchange. At the minutes of the Naracoorte Regional Livestock Exchange Board special meeting held on the 1st of April, I received and noted. Councillor Grundy.
Move that, and I'll just speak briefly about that meeting.
About the special meeting, Councillor Grundy.
Thank you, Mayor Ross. Essentially, this meeting was really to deal with predominantly the annual fee increases, which we consider as a board in line with the aspirations of the business case. Essentially, we consider that the facility is in the top 25% of the facilities nationwide, and part of that is that our fee increases should aim to be commensurate with that top 25% tier. So that's really the basis of what helped to inform our decision making, along with the fact that we consider that the truck wash has some engineering faults going forward, which will need to be addressed. So that helped to inform some of our recommended fee increases also.
Thank you, Councillor Grundy. A seconder? Councillor Ireland. Any discussion or questions? There being none, I put the recommendation of the special meeting of the 1st of April 2026. All those in favour? Carried. Thank you. The financial report of the 23rd of March 26 is noted and referred to the Audit and Risk Committee for consideration. Have they already considered that one? Yes, they have. A mover, please. Councillor Grundy, Councillor Turner. Thank you. All those in favour? Carried. Thank you very much. Councillor Dennis is removing himself from the chamber. We have a recommendation before Council that the following adjustments made to the Naracoorte Regional Livestock Exchange fees for 26/7 financial year. The Naracoorte Regional Livestock Yard fees and charges for cattle are increased by 10% and sheep increased by 10% on the current rate of 25.26. A sheep scanning fee of 20 cents a head be introduced, increasing by CPI Adelaide December quarter each year until the required loan is repaid. C, the truck wash fee increase of 18% on the current 25.6 rate to $1.52, that's plus GST per minute. The stock disposal fee increased by 10% on the current 25.26 rate. E, all other fees and charges increase CPI Adelaide December quarter 3.3% plus 1% with rounding on the current 25.26 rate. That the shortfall for the sheep EID project of $276,139 be met through finance from current cash reserves held by Council, applying the same interest rate charged by the local government finance authority at the time of drawdown. And 3, that the board notes a review of this approach has been undertaken by the Audit and Risk Committee prior to the presentation to Council for adoption.
I should actually say that the council
Did I miss something?
board notes.
that the board notes a review of this approach has been undertaken, yes, by the Audit and Risk Committee prior to presentation to the Council for adoption. Noted.
Move that.
Councillor Ireland moves. Thank you. A seconder. Councillor Grundy. Councillor Ireland. Anything else?
No. Thank you. Okay. Sorry, Councillor Grundy's already approached most of this in his initial speech about increases.
Okay, fine. Any further questions? They're being done. I put the motion. All those in favour? Carried. Thank you very much. Councillor Dennis. Item 12.2, Strategic Asset Planning Committee. That the minutes of the Strategic Asset Planning Committee meeting held on the 14th of April 2026 are received and noted. A mover, please. Councillor Crosling. Councillor Grundy. All those in favour? Carried. Thank you. The recommendation that the Council receives and notes the Unsealed Roads Hierarchy Changes Report. A mover. Councillor Crosling. Seconder, Councillor Dennis. Councillor Grundy.
Thank you, Mayor Ross. While I intend voting for this, I want to qualify my vote by saying that as far as endorsing its contents, I think that needs to be subject to a review of some kind going forward. I do think there are some inconsistencies in there, but to receive and note it for the benefit of the process, I'm happy to vote for that.
Thank you, Councillor Grundy. Councillor Ireland.
Oh, thank you, Mayor Ross. Yes, speaking for the motion, but more importantly, I just wanted to ask a question, perhaps, through the chair, if I may. Would it be possible to have a workshop, just in order to develop further the parameters around how council describes the use and benefits of the various roads within the hierarchy? Can we go to the next level with this to try and tidy things up a little bit, is what I'm asking.
Sure.
If a workshop would be possible. Just to follow on from that, this might include, but not limited to, vehicles per day, the economic value of properties and infrastructure we've got down these roads, and the sorts of activities that are carried out along the length of those roads. I just think perhaps we need to revisit some of these things.
Sure. Sure. So I got to.
Through you, Mayor, obviously the Council can resolve to have a workshop if it wishes,
yes.
And we can certainly pull together some information and be useful to understand exactly what you're wanting out of the workshop. So in terms of economic values, are you talking about the service levels of the road and further analysis of those? What exactly are you trying to get out of the workshop, please?
Thank you, Kelly. Yes, that's correct. What sort of enterprises these roads are servicing, and what our roads, whether they're meeting the criteria they need to. We might have, take vehicles per day, for instance, as an example. We might have properties that might have one B triple a week going down, but it could be millions of dollars worth of horticultural produce. So we need to make sure this is all reflected and our road network is able to serve the community appropriately.
So I think it was noted at the SAP plan meeting that, the discussion about roads being fit for purpose, for whatever, product was coming out of the road. I think that's important. Now, that's always going to be difficult to quantify what fit for purpose means, because you can't actually, scientifically write that down. So, somehow you have to come up with, a process around that. So I think it's important that, that we develop a process around that to help future councils be able to make decisions.
Yeah, the council puts too much emphasis on vehicle counts instead of produce that's coming out of these areas. And I think that's one way we're going to be looking at it.
Okay, thanks. Councillor Rayner. Councillor Dennis.
So I, for one, am happy with the current hierarchy and I'm not interested in having any workshops on it. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Dennis. Councillor Turner.
Thanks, Mayor Ross. I was an apology for that meeting. I was into Adelaide catching an early flight, but I actually watched the live stream of the meeting, and I thought there were a few things that I took out of it. Was one, you can't have a one-dimensional vehicle count, and it needs to be a bit more three-dimensional and fit for purpose, which really means the type of vehicles that are going down there need to be able to go down and turn around, and I also I felt that perhaps, well, I think what Councillor I was trying to say is that to give people a few more filters, if you like, to make decisions around the road hierarchy. Another point was made by Councillor Grundy, I think, on the night, that if we should accept that council can change road hierarchy, they can downgrade or upgrade, and that should be accepted, but we also should accept that future councils, maybe in 1 or 2 more councils' time, should be able to review that road without being seen as picking favourites or anything, because the purpose of that road may have changed based on the movement of produce. Another point Councillor Rayner made was that we have to realise we're also in a regional council, and the point that wasn't made is that more than half of our rates revenue come from you said a rural council. More than half of our rates come from the rural community as well. So we need to recognise that, and I think the CEO made a good point that there are a very good diversity amongst this council chamber, but some people live in different parts of the region. Some are in rural communities, some are in the town communities, and of course the people that we speak to are going to be different based on where they live. And there are several of the councillors here who live in that rural space. They're going to get more questions and wanting their constituents to represent them, and I feel like we should be allowing them to have that freedom of speech rather than being criticised of, which I saw at that meeting, criticised for raising points about road. We should try and find what I call a safe way to raise that, and I think that's by having, whether it's a workshop or something else, but I think we need to have the filters that we can refer back to. So we've got either KPIs, filters, whatever it is you're talking about, but not just vehicle counts. It's the type of vehicles, the type of produce, and the way the road is used, and the value of the produce that is distributed and used on these roads too, because there are millions of dollars worth of produce that perhaps does require at some point now or in the future a different type of road structure. And there are roads that could be quite easily downgraded because properties merge. There was only one house that's really tended there instead of 3 or 4 over a long period of time, so those roads can quite easily be downgraded as well. So I'm supportive of this motion, but I'm supportive of what Councillor Ireland is asking for at some point.
Yeah, thanks, Councillor Turner. I think it's fascinating that roads morph over time, and I think of one just near Councillor Dennis, which is McMillan Road, which is a no-through road. When you come off Riddick, and now it goes through some trees. It was a bit of a track, and now it's it's been potholed and there's a bit of rubble there, and now the discussion is about perhaps upgrading that access out to the east of McMillan Road. So things change over time. So given that, I think we just need to be aware that things do change over time. Roads come off a hierarchy or are demoted, and as Councillor Turner said, over time there may be a need to bring them forward, and that is to be expected. That's what councils do. They move. Is there any further discussion?
Can I just make one more comment?
You may.
I'm speaking twice to a motion.
You've already moved the motion.
No, I haven't moved, but I've spoken to it already. In my
Yes.
Again.
Yes.
Yeah. Just into that, aren't we already capturing that in our road hierarchy when a road increases in its use and more cars go down it? McMillan Road's a classic example that you brought up, that because the traffic count's gone up and the obvious usage, we review the road and we moves up in the hierarchy.
Correct. Except
that's just my point. That's just my point.
Absolutely, Councillor Dennis.
I just think we're wasting a lot of time. Going around and round in circles, and there's an agenda behind all this, and I think it's specific to specific roads. But we're all allowed to have a vote.
Sure.
So I'll go with the process.
Absolutely. Very good. Councillor Goodman.
I just feel that there is obviously still some uncertainty around the process for how we review these roads and the hierarchy, and therefore, whilst that exists, I think a workshop or something like that is appropriate. But I'd like to note that this motion is actually about receiving and noting the hierarchy changes report.
Correct. So put the motion. All those in favour? Thank you. Carried. Next recommendation is that the Caves Valley drainage study is received and noted and endorsed for future planning purposes. Councillor Turner, seconder. Councillor Grundy. Any questions? Being none, I put the motion. All those in favour? Carried. Thank you. 12.3, Audit and Risk Committee, that the minutes of the Audit and Risk Committee held on the 15th of April 26 are received and noted. A mover, please. Councillor Dennis. Councillor Turner. Second. All those in favour? Carried. Thank you. A recommendation that the reports relating to the performance of the Naracoorte Regional Livestock Exchange as at the 1st of April 26 are received and noted. Councillor Grundy, moved. Councillor Turner, second. All those in favour? Carried. Recommendation that the Council notes the Audit and Risk Committee supports the fees, charges and sheep EID funding scheme recommended by the Naracoorte Regional Livestock Exchange Board at its meeting on the 1st of April. A mover, Councillor Goodman, thank you, and Councillor Downwood. All those in favour? Carried, thank you. A recommendation that the Council notes that the Audit and Risk Committee is satisfied that the work being undertaken by administration in relation to risks highlighted by ASCOSA are being appropriately managed. Councillor Turner, moved. A seconder, please. Councillor Grundy. All those in favour? Thank you. A recommendation that policy number 2, accounting for infrastructure, property, plant and equipment, version 10, is adopted with additional changes to the following capitalisation thresholds under the policy section materiality. Office furniture and equipment, 1 to 2,000. Park and playground equipment, 1 to 2,000. Pump infrastructure, 1 to 2,000. Councillor Dennis, thank you very much for moving that. Councillor Turner, second. All those in favour? Carried. Thank you very much. Reports for decision. Resolutions register. Mrs. Collins. Thank you, Mrs. Collins. Would someone like to move the resolution register as at 20 April is a true and correct record? Councillor Turner, Councillor Grundy. All those in favour? Carried. Thank you.
I just have a question on that.
You may.
The ones in green that have been dealt with,
Yes.
how long do they remain on there? For this?
They're removed.
After tonight?
Tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, I thought so.
Item 13.2, Community Chest, 25.6. The recommendations are... Mrs. Edmonds.
Oh, thank you. Thanks, Mayor Ross. So we find ourselves at round 2 of this year's Community Chest. So we had a total of 9 applications, requesting just over a total of $20,000 or $21,000. So we're recommending $14,450 support amongst 8 groups. You were provided with a summary of the applications and reasonings for or against support. Happy to take any questions. Happy to amend the recommendation if you think differently to our recommendations.
Councillor Turner.
Happy to move it.
Happy to move.
I can speak to it if you like.
Councillor Rayner. Seconded. Are there any questions?
No.
No questions. All those in favour of the Community Chest? Carried. Against? 0. Naracoorte Lucindale Council Local Area Housing Strategy. Mr. McCroskey.
Thank you, Mayor Ross. Just a reminder to the elected members who are out and about speaking to the community, the objectives out of this report is driven from the Limestone Coast Regional Plan, as well as Narrabri Listener Council's localised issues. So that's where a lot of the objectives were driven from. Thank you to the staff and elected members for the direction on this, and also looking forward to the community consultation and the feedback we receive.
Thank you, Mr McCrosty.
Question to you,
I'm not too blinking. It's very difficult. I'm leaning too far forward. I apologise.
I'd like to move and speak. Yep. Yeah, I'm very happy to move that this goes for consultation, and really appreciative of the work that was done from the original document to where we are now with actions and priorities and the alignment with the regional plan. I think it's worth noting that yesterday I attended the Limestone Coast Local Health Network meeting that was held here in Lucindale. It was a really robust and good discussion about the factors and issues affecting how health is delivered here, and one thing that was raised there was housing and the ability to provide appropriate housing for health professionals to come and work in our region. So I think it's really appropriate that this is being discussed here as well. So thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Goodman. A seconder, please. Councillor Crosling. And how long will this be out for consultation, Mr McCroskey?
28 days, is it? 21 days.
21 days.
Not one day.
Sometime in the next week it'll go out, or tomorrow or something. Okay.
27th today.
We're planning,
Thank you.
Mayor Ross, because we're going out for consultation with the draft annual business plan
Yes.
budget on Monday. We're actually going to delay the consultation on the housing strategy. Well, I would like to until just after the budget goes out, so that we are not putting out too many things at once to confuse people. So,
Thank you for the clarification.
Yeah, so it'll probably it'll happen within the next few weeks.
Thank you. Thank you. Very good. Item 14, reports for information. Voting, so I apologise. Move Councillor Goodman, second Councillor Crosling. The local area plan housing strategy be endorsed for public consultation. All those in favour? Carried unanimously. Thank you. Item 14, operations report. For noting, Mr Steed.
The report is read and take any questions.
Thank you. Being no questions, thank you very much. Item 14.2, planning and compliance. Mr McCrosty.
Thank you, Mayor Ross. Just like to highlight that the fire danger season comes to an end as of Thursday night, and also the fact that we've now got 15 AEDs distributed all over our council region, as per the legislative requirements for earlier this year.
Thank you, Mr McCrosky. Can I ask a question around compliance with the burn-offs, and have there been any reports, or have the police been involved in any reports?
We've had a couple of reports with SACOL being called to burns, which were generally not through the permit process, was people undertaking illegal burns in their backyard to reduce fuel load, but we've had none that I'm aware of with regards to the permit process and stubble burns when SACOL have been advised.
Thank you. 14.3, engagement and community report. Mrs Collins.
Thank you, Mayor Ross. I'm delighted and very proud to say that we've reached the end of our hectic community event season for the current financial year, which has been wholeheartedly embraced by the community. It's been absolutely incredible. I'd also like to acknowledge the amazing support from our operations team, helping us manage community events. There's been a lot on, and they've been amazing with everything from temporary road closures to tidying up our open spaces that have been used as well. So much appreciated. Thank you.
Mrs. Collins, is there any more? Is there more room in the months of February and March for more events?
No, there is not, Mayor.
When's the next leap year?
Thank you, Mrs. Collins, and thanks to the team for early mornings and late nights putting road signs up and the stuff that has to be done. Item 15, publications. Looks like it's a bit of a blank sheet. Item 16, questions with notice. I haven't received any. 17, motions with notice. I haven't received any questions without notice. There aren't any. 19, motions without notice. There aren't any. 20, matters the CEO recommends to be considered in confidence. Item 20.1 is the Moy Hall Road Reseal Contract Award, which we will consider in confidence. And I ask someone to move the pursuant section 90.2 and 90.3K that we move in that direction. Councillor Dennis and Councillor Goodman second. All those in favour? Carried. Thank you very much.